You have been trying to change your life with the thoughts you choose, the affirmation you repeat, the scene you construct at night, the careful, deliberate work you sit down to do. And underneath all of it, running quietly all day, is a second conversation you never chose at all. It has been going the whole time you were practicing. It did not stop while you affirmed, and I am going to tell you something you may not want to hear. That conversation is the one your life is listening to. Not the affirmation, the murmur underneath it. Pay close attention, because in the next few minutes I am going to show you how to hear it, and once you have heard it, you cannot go back to pretending it is not there. All that you believe, everything you have actually consented to as true, reveals itself in your inner conversation. Not in your prayers, not in the few minutes you sit down and try, in the automatic talk that runs beneath everything, all day, in the hours you are not practicing anything at all. Here is why this matters more than any technique I could give you. You cannot assume what you are quietly contradicting. A man may spend 20 minutes at night imagining wealth, and spend the other 15 hours of his waking day in an inner conversation of lack. He tells himself, without ever saying it aloud, that money is difficult, that people like him do not get such things, that he is behind, that it is probably too late. He is not affirming this. He would deny believing it, but it runs, and it runs unopposed, and the deeper mind does not distinguish between the sentence you say on purpose and the sentence you say by habit. It only asks, which one do you actually believe? And it can tell. It can always tell. Now there is one place this inner talk always tells the truth. One place where the mask comes off completely, where you cannot possibly be performing, because there is no one there to perform for. I will bring you to it in a moment. But you need to understand something first, or you will not recognize it when you arrive. Most people believe their thoughts are their own, chosen, authored, coming from somewhere deliberate. They are not most of them. Your inner conversation moves according to habit. It travels the same worn grooves it has traveled for years, the way water finds the channel it cut last time. Something happens, and before you have decided anything, a sentence has already formed. Someone does not answer your message, and something in you says, of course. You see the amount in your account, and something says, there it is, that's what I am. A door closes, and something says, that's what always happens to me. You did not choose those. They arrived, fully formed, the way your own name arrives. That is what makes them so dangerous and so revealing. They are not opinions, they are confessions. And now I want you to notice something about that word. You have said at some point that you want to be wealthy, or loved, or free. But when did you last catch yourself, in an ordinary moment, in a sentence that assumed you already were? Think about it honestly. Not the affirmation you performed, the involuntary sentence, the one that arrived on its own while you were doing the dishes, or driving, or waiting for the light to change. I would guess it was the opposite. I would guess the sentence that arrived on its own was the one that assumed the thing was far away, difficult, for other people, not yet. That is not a failure of faith. It is simply the habit of the inner talk, running the groove it always runs. And it will keep running it, quietly, for the rest of your life, unless you interrupt it. Which brings me to the place I promised you. The place where your inner speech tells the truth is not in meditation, and it is not in your practice. It is in your reaction. The instant something happens, before you have had time to compose yourself, before you have had a chance to be the person you are trying to become, a sentence forms. That sentence is your real assumption. Everything you say afterward is editing. Everything you affirm afterward is the cover story. Watch what you say to yourself in the first second after bad news. Watch what you say in the first second after someone else succeeds. Watch what forms unbidden in the first second after a door closes. That first sentence is what you believe. That is the assumption from which your world is being written, and you have never once thought to listen to it, because it happens too fast, and it does not feel like a thought at all. It feels like the truth. It is not the truth. It is a habit that has been mistaken for the truth. So here is the practice, and it is not what you expect. I am not going to ask you to fight those sentences. You cannot argue with the inner conversation. Argument is effort, and effort confesses that you do not have the thing. The man who fights his own thoughts is like a man wrestling smoke. I'm going to ask you to do something far simpler and far more difficult. For one day, listen to yourself the way you would listen to a stranger you were trying to understand, not to correct, not to judge, only to hear what is actually being said in there all day beneath everything. You will be startled. Almost everyone is. You will hear a running commentary you would never say to a friend, delivered to yourself in a tone you would never use with anyone you loved. You will hear 100 small confessions of lack that you did not know you were making. That hearing is the whole work, because a sentence you have heard is a sentence you can no longer say innocently. And then, when you have heard it, you do the one thing that changes it. You do not delete the sentence. You replace the conversation. Ask yourself, if the thing were already mine, what would I be saying inside, right now, in this ordinary moment? Not shouting, not affirming. What would the quiet, automatic, unremarkable inner talk of that person sound like? It is calmer than you think. It is duller than you think. It is the inner speech of a person who is not thinking about the matter at all, because it is settled. The wealthy man is not saying, "I am wealthy," to himself in the car. He is thinking about lunch. That easy silence about the thing, that absence of pleading, is what the inner conversation of the fulfilled state actually sounds like. Carry on that conversation in the ordinary moments when nothing is happening, not for 20 minutes, in the cracks of the day, waiting for the water to boil, walking to the car, in the first second after the door closes. That is where your life is being written, not in the practice, in the murmur. Change the inner conversation, and you have changed the assumption. Change the assumption, and you have changed the man. And the world, which is only ever reflecting the man, has no choice but to follow. You do not need a new technique tonight. You need to overhear yourself, honestly. Because the moment you truly hear what you have been saying to yourself all these years, in the unguarded seconds when no one is watching and nothing is being performed, you will understand at last why the life around you looks the way it does. And you will never be able to unhear it.